Book. We are early, and that's my doing. And welcome, Bridgetti, to the show. And we're good. Hello, Bridgetti.
Hello, how are you, Stephen?
Rushed off my feet would be the correct expression. Thank you for. Well, it's going to be next Friday. Next Friday is going to be different as well, because next Friday is Fonz's charity event, which goes from 9
Yes, it is.
to 9 p.m. at night.
Well, it simply means we're shaking things up a little bit, aren't we?
Oh yeah. I think if we plug our show into his show, then we go live in his show and give him a break. So, but he did say he wants to be on screen all the time. So I don't know how that's actually going to work.
I don't know how he's going to do it. That's a long, long haul.
It truly is, but he's determined. He's determined. I told him today, because he asked me to produce the show and to be there for the 12 hours. He was giving me some advice on, how to cope with being there for 12 hours. And then he said, but I'm going to have to share the information with you. I said, yeah. He said, it's all written on bits of paper. I said, well, you can't post it to me because you're going to change it. So what I did was I shared my desktop, which is what I'm going to do at the moment because I've already set up for it, is that I shared my desktop and I said to him, what you need to do, I was waiting for it to come through, is that you need to go over to Trello. Yeah. And on Trello, schedule the 12 hours across the top of the screen. So you've got slots for 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and so on, going all the way along the screen. And as you've got to guess that hour, put in the time that they're actually going to come on, and also put in their contact details in case there's a problem. So you're actually planning out.
That's a very good idea. Very good idea.
Well, it will help him. It's better than scraps of paper, isn't it? I mean, we know that at 1 o'clock, North Hearts Radio are going to be in. So this is just a sample, but Fonz is at this very moment using Trello for the first time ever and putting his board together. And it'd be good because not only can he actually put the titles in, he can also share the photographs and the videos, share the board with me, and then we've both got access to the same information, and we can just use that as the running order for the 12 hours.
And that's very useful to be able to share that information so that, more than one person's got an overview of how things are going to run for the day. So if something goes wrong, at least there's more than one person who's got an overview of the entire day.
Totally. And the good thing about Trello, because we've spoken of this before, the good thing about Trello is it's totally free and it's browser based. Well, that helps,
free
doesn't
stuff, don't we?
We do. I mean, especially when you're actually doing things for charity. Free is good. So yeah,
absolutely.
So, Fonz is busy doing that at the moment. Now, just a reminder, if you want to join Bridgetti and I on camera, then simply type guest as I did earlier, and you can come and chat to us. This is our wind down show, winding down to the weekend, although there is an event after this with Joy Ruffin. Have you actually been on a show with Joy?
No, I haven't yet. I mean, there's always an opportunity to do something with someone new. So I haven't yet.
Right.
The operative word is yet. It always leaves it all open.
Well, we can put that right today if you want to join us on the show. I mean, basically the idea is what I'm doing is if you want to pop in, I'm saying the idea is.
Are you going live on Twitch though?
Yeah, we're going live on Twitch. Going live on Twitch because the thing is that the recording quality is totally different to Facebook. So the download we can repurpose everywhere. And what I'm actually doing is interviewing people who broadcast on Live Video Hub, and Joy is one of those who's got 2 shows a week on the Live Video Hub, much like yourself, really. And it's going to be interesting because we've never actually broadcast together. and I've watched a couple of her shows, and she's always watching our shows and commenting, and I try and reciprocate.
She is. Yes, she is.
So it's going to be an interesting discussion over on Twitch.
How's your mum doing with her technology? I've been wanting to ask you.
Famously, she dialed me up, or she came on Facebook video last week, surprised me, and was there on camera chatting away. So she's working very well. She's got to grips with it. She doesn't use it every day, uses it sparingly, but she can switch it on. She can go straight into Facebook. She can go into Messenger, and she can talk to not just me, but everyone in the family. And I think she's doing so and enjoying herself. So at the age of 93, I mean, I'm impressed.
So the bug has bitten her, has it?
Oh yeah. I don't think she'd want to go live to the world, but to go live with relatives, she's enjoying that. Yeah, you can she sort of appears on the screen, a bit like that, but she's on screen. Yeah, and of course she can contact people on the mobiles, and generally, I mean, the thing is with Messenger, you can actually see when somebody is online. So as soon as my mum comes online, I know. Yeah, and
but it's a great way for families to keep in touch, because I mean, these days, gone are the days when you had 2, 3, 4 generations living in close proximity. That doesn't happen any longer. Everyone's now spread all over the globe. And that's so, true. From that perspective, technology is fantastic, because it actually brings you can literally be involved in everyone's lives on a daily basis if you use social media. And you actually feel like you're part. You no longer feel the distance, because before,
right.
It was easy. If you're so far removed, you feel the distance, and you say, I wish I could say so and so to such and such, but now you actually don't have that any longer. You can actually feel like you're part of someone's life.
Totally true. And the thing is that if you are on Facebook, you can actually make connections with family, and you can see the photographs. And Angelica's mum, the reason she joined Facebook quite simply was that she wasn't seeing the photographs of her grandchildren growing up. So until somebody went round to show them, now she sees the photographs as soon as they're actually posted. So and she's in contact with people. So grandma's rule, that's the way it is. Mothers and grandmothers are actually right. Now, it doesn't affect Bridgetti or I, but we are aware that it's Thanksgiving next Thursday, and it's not the best day to broadcast, therefore, so taking note of that. But there is on Monday a Belive TV Thanksgiving show with Molly Mahoney, Owen Video, and our very own, well, they're all our own, Jeff Adams. And if you want to catch that show on Monday, there's a good reason to do so, because they are giving things away. And that includes...
those shows are nice.
True. I mean, that includes, in celebration, that includes not just the systems themselves, but also access to Belive.tv paid. So definitely, if you can make it along to the Thanksgiving show on Monday, which is at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK, 10 p.m. in Cape Town. I'm getting used to this, Bridgetti. There's a 2-hour time difference between us now. Then do so, because you could actually win something. And I'm looking forward to that show. If you are watching the show...
there's an incentive, right? And I mean, who doesn't want to join a show if there's an incentive to win something for free and something that you can actually use? It's not a useless giveaway. It's something that you can actually benefit from, or your business could benefit from. So come on in and join the show.
Totally agree. And I'm just going to post the link. I'm going to bring up the page, and if I can find the right video, I'm hunting for the right video. I think I found it. Then I'll put the link in so you can actually go directly. But if you go into the Belivers group, just a minute, sorry about this. Right. Now, never ever when you're broadcasting, have the sound on the Facebook tab. It's a good way to drive to co-host batty because the sound is delayed, as you heard then. But I just wanted to go over there to actually post the link I was talking about. So I'm doing that now. So there's the link to the Thanksgiving announcement on Belive.tv. And I would say it's a good time to actually get involved with Belive.tv. Whole host of things going on, not the least of which is broadcasting to Twitch. And I'm enjoying myself over there. There's a totally different atmosphere, and people come in and join the show, and you're getting the bonus of downloadable videos. Because we've been over there and enjoyed ourselves. It feels slightly different. I don't know why.
I think, any platform. I mean, it's the same as YouTube. If you go live on YouTube or Facebook, the feel is just completely different. And I think that's okay. It's okay that every experience feels different. The audience is different. It's like going into a restaurant. Every restaurant that you go into may all be great restaurants, but they have their own ambience. And so to me, live streaming on a different platform is pretty much, it has its own ambience. And they could, every experience is different. It's nice. It just feels different, and different is good. Nothing wrong in, but as you said, the one thing that really is nice about Twitch at this point is the fact that you can download your video in high definition. So there's an added bonus if you are into repurposing your broadcasts.
And a lot of us are, because you repurpose to YouTube, you repurpose to your blog, you might repurpose to Vimeo, you might download the video as well and cut. I mean, what we do, the greatest use we've found for Twitch so far is that RJ and I are actually writing a Udemy course, creating a Udemy course. Now, a Udemy course is made for videos. It's made up of short 2 and 3 minute videos mainly, except when RJ does a 28-minute video, and you think, well, that's good, we'll keep that in. But it means that what we want to do is, if you're creating a course with 2 people on it, you actually want to appear on screen together. Now, we can do that using Belive, and we can do it to Facebook, but the thing is that the quality of the video that we download from Facebook, Udemy turns around and says, I'm sorry, it's not good enough, because it's only 640 by 380 and they want HD. Now, we've gone live on Twitch for 2 separate sessions of about 50 minutes each, and we've downloaded the video and then edited the video using Screencast-O-Matic, and we've got 9 lessons out of it. So in 9 parts of the course, we're actually two talking heads side by side on the screen, because we can do that on Belive. And it's a great way to actually create content, because it works, and it's all included in your Belive subscription.
Mm. Well, that's the nice part. I mean, we've basically got 2 for the price of 1 here. 2 completely different platforms, and you using the same subscription to go live, to 2 so different platforms, and the benefit is that Belive already is a familiar platform to us, so nothing more, new to learn. So I think that's the thing that I enjoy most about Twitch, is that I'm already going live to Twitch in a familiar surroundings, and that's the great part. I haven't gone live much this past week. I've my dad's in hospital, not doing well, and so I've been distracted with family matters this last week and a bit, but hopefully soon, in the next week or so, I shall be able to become a little bit more active again, and looking forward to playing around on Twitch some more.
Well, it's something to look forward to, because it is a different atmosphere and people do get involved. And down the road, we have the option to actually monetize as well, which we don't have on Facebook. So there are benefits for actually being there. All good. Right. As usual, Bridgetti, I don't have an agenda. What would you like to talk about? We'd like to talk about trolls.
Yes, I do. I don't mind. I mean, it's since I did a live with Angeline about 2 weeks ago, and since then I don't know if it was kind of just became a focus for me, but I've seen so many other people go live talking about trolls as well. So it seems like it's a huge thing. I mean, it always has, and I think it does deserve attention. For me, personally, I'm kind of feel that for a long time we've literally handed over the reins to the trolls, and they've had free reign. They had the power. They were literally calling the shots on the airwaves and manipulating people which way they wanted to. And that's because, we've allowed it, in my opinion. Nothing can happen without your permission. But if so many of us have just sat back and we've done nothing and we've cowered behind them, to me, a troll and a bully is pretty much the same thing.
Agreed.
And, bullies, if you don't call their bluff, that's how they get the enjoyment, and they'll continue bullying you until you call their bluff. And so I feel pretty strongly about doing the same with trolls, is, give them the attention that they seek, because those are attention-seeking people. So if attention is what they want, give them the attention, and not in a good way. Call their bluff.
Call them out.
Call them
their
out,
bluff.
Yeah.
Because the thing about a set of trolls, because it's not, you don't just get one troll. They don't come singly, because that would be too easy. They come in packs, hunting packs, don't they? And they start a conversation which is totally against what you're talking about, and totally distracting, not just for yourself and your co-host or yourself and your guest, but also for people watching the show. And people wonder, well, what's going on here? And you can't ignore it, because it may not affect you on screen, but it's affecting people watching in the conversation. And I agree entirely with what you said on how to actually deal with them. And you did a poll in Belive as well. What sort of response did you get?
Hi, Tish. There was quite a nice response to the polls on trolling. So there was a few things. One is to call them out. The second one, which is a great suggestion, is to get your followers to help you. And a few people commented saying that they didn't have to deal with the trolls because they'd engaged their followers. Their followers dealt with the trolls quite effectively. And then, one of the other suggestions I had was to already have a policy. So when you are online, be clear that you have in your online policy of what you will tolerate. It's your broadcast, after all. You're in control, and so any business has got rules of engagement. So if you've got a live show, have rules of engagement and say, this is what I will have in my show and this is what I'm not. It's your show. You can do what you want. So the same way as you have policy on everything else, have a policy on what you will do with trolling. You can say this is a no trolling zone. It will not be tolerated. And then you have every right to enforce that. Tish is who's joining us? Alfredo, Tish?
Alfredo is joining us, yeah.
Alfredo joining us, yeah. So be very clear about what you will and what you won't tolerate in your broadcast. And of course, Facebook's got its own terms and conditions, and so does many of the other platforms. And trolling goes against their terms and conditions. I talked about the one platform, for example, that is famous. Someone mentioned Blab back in the day was famous for trolling, and so is Periscope. It's got quite a name for trolling, but it's against the terms and conditions of Periscope in the first place.
Yeah.
And you can have your own terms and conditions, but it's up to you to enforce them. So if you don't have a policy, formulate your policy and then enforce it. And literally, you can at the outset, if you feel that you are vulnerable to trolling, or trolling has been a problem before, start your broadcast by saying, trolls are not welcome. Trolls will not be permitted in this broadcast. Then it's out there. And if it really has been a problem, engage your audience. And of course, there's the beautiful block button. It may be difficult to do that while you're in the middle of a broadcast, but if you have a very supportive audience, and most people do, then ask your audience to deal with it, and until you can block the person afterwards. And generally speaking, trolls don't expect to be called out. So if you do call them out and your audience calls them out, they very well will just go away. Or sometimes they're seeking attention. And not all of them are really, really bad people. But if you engage them and take them head on, you may just swing things around. You never know. But each thing, I would say, is I don't think there's one size fits all. And that goes for absolutely anything and everything. There's never a one size fits all. You've got to just take it per case, and figure out what's happening, and then just deal with it in the moment, as far as I'm concerned.
And I agree. So I'll set a show policy. We'll see how that goes and take the trolls on. I mean, fortunately, it is the exception, not the rule. And long may that continue. But you do need to have a contingency plan in case things don't go according. Now, today, I'm glad that Bridgetti said yes to being on at 11 a.m. Eastern, because we're normally 2 hours later. But I've got a question, and are you okay for this time most weeks, Bridgetti?
Yes, I can do this. Yeah.
Right. That's I'm going to add a poll, and the poll question is, and this is, you can vote in this just to show that polls are working on Belive, because it would be good. Is 11 a.m. Eastern a good time for a show? So if you want to take part in that poll, then please vote, and you will decide. Well, you will actually decide, help us decide what time we should be on next week. Now, I'm not, are you going to be broadcasting next Thursday, Bridgetti, or not?
I don't have any plans that I'm aware of. I don't have a show on a Thursday, so no.
Right. And
not right now anyway. Things change at the last minute. Right. They could. But well, yeah. I don't have. Actually, I do. Where is my mind? My mind has been very distracted with my dad this week. Yes. I do have a show with Angeline Longshaw on a Thursday, and I think the reason why it didn't come to mind now was because we didn't do one last night because I was at the hospital with my dad, so couldn't do that. But we will go live next Thursday. Yes.
Right. Okay. I'm just curious. There's no right and wrong answers. I mean, we're going live with Blubbing for Britain episode 153 because we want to keep the numbers going. 153. We want to get to 156 before Christmas. So that's 3 years almost continuing.
So you've got a goal.
We've got a goal. And Alfredo's not getting the guest link from the bot. Alfredo, have you typed yay, and has it not responded? Because it might be broken. If not, I'm going to pop over and go to our show, and I'm going to, because I can't do it from inside Belive at the moment. Can you post links from? Have you been able to post from within Belive to Facebook recently?
Me?
Yeah. You know, when you
I think
running a show, right. When you ring a show, bottom right-hand corner, you've got the box to post to Facebook.
yes,
Comment.
I haven't had an issue, to be honest.
All right. Okay.
Shall I send the link to Alfredo?
I've just hopped across as I was distracting myself. I've hopped across to the Facebook page, which is why you heard me again, and I've actually put the link in there. So if you do want to join us, then I've just posted the link. We have 2 spare seats, and as we look forward to the weekend, you're more than welcome to join us live on camera and talk about anything you want, really, because it's weekend. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So we've just got
Absolutely
the show. Some weeks are long weeks, I know, and difficult. It's good to get to the weekend where you can actually, well, it's just easier, isn't it? When there are no weekday responsibilities.
I know, it somehow just feels different, and even when I end up doing some work on the weekend, it somehow just feels different. And I think you hit the nail on the head by saying you don't feel the weekday, the Monday to Friday sort of responsibilities. And I think also businesses are closed, things are different, and you just feel a little bit more relaxed on the weekend. And somehow you can get through a lot more of your to-do list on the weekend than you would during the week. I don't know, but that's how it works for me.
It works the same way for me because you don't have as many interruptions. You don't have.
That's what it is.
And hello, Kelly. Kelly's saying, indeed, the poll. Shall we check the results so far? And the results so far are that Kelly voted. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. We'll keep a watch on the poll.
Thank you kindly for voting. Hi, Gospel. Gospel joined us as well.
Gospel, nice to see you. If you want to join us on camera, I've just posted a link over on Facebook, and you're more than welcome to pop in and have a chat with us. And Gospel is saying hello, Bridgetti. There we are as we wind down for the weekend. Yeah, the weekend is different because I don't have scheduled shows at the weekend. I might still go live because we found each other just accidentally last Saturday, didn't we? Going live.
Yes, we did.
Yes. And we went live on Twitch, and that was good fun because it wasn't planned at all. It was just a question of we were both there at the same time.
Those unplanned things are rather nice sometimes.
Well, we agreed that as opposed to 2 years ago when we used to get nervous before a broadcast, and now we can go and broadcast just for relaxation. Yeah. So if you need a break from everything, you just go live. And if somebody turns up and wants to chat, that's brilliant. But it is now become a form of relaxation because there are no nerves. So we can go live at the drop of a hat, and often do. And we've got so many options.
I've got a quick tip here for everyone. You know, I still see people doing this. When you go live, you need to go live forget about the live audience. Don't go live because of a live audience. Most of your views are on the replay. And so when you go live, think of your replay audience. What you don't want to do is start your show off, because remember, there's so many shows to choose from now. And you do want to do something that's attention grabbing right off the bat. So do not go live and say, I'm going to sit and wait here, twiddle my thumbs. Oh, there's just one person. Oh, hello. Oh, let's wait for 10 more. How do you think that's going to look to the person that's not watching your show live, the person that's coming in on the replay? You're going to lose them immediately because they're going to think, are you serious? You know, I don't have the time to sit here and wait until 10 people arrive. It's not respectful of people's time to say to them, because it means that whoever is already there, you're not showing respect for their time. They've already made themselves available. And now you're saying to them, well, can you wait until 10 more people join? It's not a nice way of introduction. It's not a way, and it's not a great way of grabbing attention in a space where you want to get people's attention off the bat. So I'm just throwing that into the mix. It's not that we plan to talk about it, but it just came to my mind, and I thought I will share that.
It's a good observation to be respectful of your audience, because basically we're here and enjoying each other's company, and what you don't want to do is to say, well, no, just don't wait, well, no, another 5 minutes yet. It doesn't go down well live or on the replay. And I want to come back to another topic in a minute, but I do have to feature a couple of comments. And Gospel is saying she would love to join us as a guest, but has a meeting in the next few minutes. Have an enjoyable meeting, Gospel, and we look forward to seeing you on a future broadcast, perhaps over on Twitch again, who knows. And Tish is saying, I like Bridgetti's hairstyle. How? I better get this right. I like how Bridgetti's hairstyles have evolved. This one is very cute. So there you are.
Thank you, Tish. Very kind of you.
Yeah. I've got that comment. So, and Zeph Zan is here. Thank you, Tish, for highlighting the fact that Zeph is here.
Hello. Oh, wow. Nice to see you. It's been a while.
It has been a while. And Kelly is saying, have you ever seen snow, Bridgetti? Maybe David Burrows could show you some from Canada on Monday, live. Have you ever seen snow?
In real life?
Well, I'm presuming you've travelled and seen it, but have you seen it in South Africa?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Right. We had an untimely snowfall a few years back. Not really thick, but I mean, it was very noticeable. We often see snow on the mountains here from where I am, and it's a beautiful sight, but not at my house. No, it doesn't get that cold. Not cold enough.
Right. Well, I mean, Melbourne can have 4 seasons in a day. It can rain, snow, hail, and shine, sometimes at the same time. And we in the UK haven't seen snow yet. I know the East Coast has seen snow, and Canada's seen snow. And David's going to, well, we'll get David to show us the snow on Monday. There you go. You can actually take his iPhone and go out and do live here from Sarnia, Ontario, and shows around Sarnia. But if it's snowing, you might not want to.
No, it'd be cold. I think he did a live the other day. I think I saw one of his lives where he was showing the snow. It may not even have been a live, it may have just been a video of his outside garden, but it looks stunning, beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to go to Canada. It's on my list of things to do. And we say hello to Patricia. So everyone is here. So it's hello, Patricia, Tish, Kelly, Zeph. Gospel was here, and we know that Alfredo's here too. So great to look towards the weekend.
And I saw Robert Stern pop in there for a second.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, Robert, please do join us on camera. We might even mention a certain ebook if you do. Yeah, Robert's published an ebook, and it is well, it's an encyclopedia of Facebook, really. It's every single feature available within Facebook. You know, when you can't find something on Facebook, and you think, yes, I know where it is. And
but where is it?
Where is it? The other thing is, what are the images for a profile? What's the dimensions for a profile picture? What's dimensions for a business banner? It's all in the ebook. And thank you, Tish. We love you. You know that.
Thank you, Tish.
Robert's ebook is well worth taking a look at. I recommend it. And my review, I gave Robert my review today, and it will be hopefully with his ebook later, because it's a great idea, and I wish him every success with it. Because I mean, I read through it. There are 700 different features in Facebook, and I'd say that there's some that I thought, well, I can do that. So yeah, there you go.
Oh,
so
wow.
shout out to Robert. So there are things that
useful information.
Very useful information. Yes. Yeah. And our poll. Let's have a look at our poll. How is our poll going? And Kelly's just voted, but he's only voted the once. We're having a poll. The question is 11 a.m. a good time for a show? 11 a.m. Eastern, that is. And if you want to vote, please do. The more yeses we get, then it might shape what we actually do on Fridays. So, right, okay, just a shout out, and we'll take it in turns. My next show is at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And for the first time ever, I'm meeting Joy Ruffin on camera, on Twitch, and asking her about who she is, what she does, and all about her shows and her outlook on life, and all about her guests and using BLIFbot.tv. And hopefully, well, I know it's going to be an interesting 30-minute show over on Twitch, and that's at 12:15 Eastern, if you can actually join us. I'll post a link in, but it's just Twitch, Steven Healey, that will find me. And your next show, Bridgetti?
I am supposed to have a show, the Friday show that I do in Belivers, which is Lights, Camera, Action Live, where we teach you bite-sized tidbits about how to improve your live streaming skills or how to get started in real time. But to be honest, I've had a really, really rough week, right. Spending time at the hospital with my dad. And I don't know if I'm going to be awake at that time this evening. It's simply just been a bit of a rough week for me. So I may take a rain check on our show this evening, because I really do need to catch up on some sleep.
Totally understand. All right, our next topic then. If you weren't here earlier, then just an advice that the BLive Thanksgiving show, I can hear barking in the background. The BLive Thanksgiving show is on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and features Mr. Jeff Adams, Molly Mahoney, and Owen Video. So that's 3 superstars on the one show, 3 p.m. Eastern on the BLive.tv page. And if there weren't enough reason to actually be there on Monday, there is a giveaway. And the giveaway, well, we don't know what's in it, but it's BLive TV, so there will be subscriptions to BLive, and there is hardware involved as well. So 3 p.m. Monday, make a date in your diaries now. Join Owen, Jeff, and Molly, and find out what they have to offer as they celebrate Thanksgiving on BLive.tv.
Oh, and I do want to mention something.
The floor is yours.
Sorry, finish your sentence.
You want me to finish? Right. Okay. If you want more information, if you want more information, go over to Belivers, and you'll find all the information in the Belivers group. And Patricia is saying, "Cool, it's going to be cool. I'll be there," and I know that it's going to be the best time because it's always a good show. Bridgetti, over to you.
I did want to relate something rather endearing. I've been trying to, one of the shows that I've run that's become incredibly successful is Writer's Corner Live show. So much so that we're already booked up until the end of February next year, I think.
Wow.
And so every now and then we find an author, a high caliber author, and we sort of think, we don't want to say to them, well, the first spot is March next year, so
that's a bit off-putting.
Yes. So we've decided to start, doubling. If it's a guest we feel that we really cannot say to this person, you have to wait until March next year, we started doubling up on the shows and doing back-to-back shows. So it's become a really popular show, and we've had absolute rave reviews from the authors. They've all loved being on the show. And so I've been trying to get a friend to come onto the show. And she's a little nervous. And sometimes, people are very nervous. And we've had a few new authors, brand new authors, who also said, I've never done this thing before, and it's very unsettling. And the long and the short of it is they always walk away saying they had such a great time on the show. And they, by the time they go live and we start chatting, all their nervousness is lost. So I was trying to explain to this one author, that she should come on the show and she shouldn't be nervous. And she said, well, do we have a test run? Is there a bloopers reel, so we can make sure it's just perfect? And I was saying to her that in that respect, live video is very different from a TV production, something that's produced where you want it to be flawless. Live is not like that. And in fact, we found that when you have bloopers or so-called bloopers, your show is so much more popular. It's so much more endearing because people love it. It makes them laugh. It makes them be able to relate to you. And I said to her, it's the last thing you need to be worried about. People love bloopers reels. It gets in the audience. I had one instance where a while ago, my co-host, Mary Jackson, we were on the show, and one of her older children was supposed to be babysitting her 5-year-old, and I'm not sure, something went wrong. And we're in the middle of the show, and she hears her doorbell ring, and she hears a 5-year-old jump up to go and answer the door. And she's thinking, uh-oh, this cannot be happening. You don't want a 5-year-old answering the door and you don't know who's on the other side of the door. So she literally had to vacate her seat while we, talking to go and run after her 5-year-old. And of course, all you do when something like that happens, you just say, well, life's happened, make light of it. Don't panic, because we can relate to that. I mean, the doorbell rang, and it was the kind of situation she had to get up, and it became a non-issue because everyone could relate to that kind of thing happening. Yep. All I did was then drop her down into the lobby until I could see she was coming back on, and brought her back into the show. So if you ever have that kind of situation happen to you while you are live, the first rule of thumb is don't panic. Just say to your audience, oh, well, I guess life has happened and she'll be back. Or I see people sometimes in the Belivers group, people get upset because something went wrong with audio or something went wrong with video. It's life. Things like that can happen. Just simply, if you can't type it out to the person, say to the person, look, your video has gone out of sync, or I can't hear you, or something. I'm going to drop you into the lobby, and can you please refresh your browser, and I'll bring you back up. And that's it. It really doesn't become a big deal if you learn to just embrace these moments. These, shall we just call them life moments? Because that's what they are. It's life moments. Embrace them. Learn to laugh. Don't be so serious.
Totally. I mean, we know that, and you're quite right. If you've got a problem with video or audio, if you drop out the show, come back in, the show continues, and the problem sorts itself out. If you continue, then you shouldn't. You should just refresh and just do it as Bridgetti said. And Patricia is agreeing with what you're saying, and saying life is conversation in real time, and real is never perfect. Can we use that as a tagline? That would be good. That's quite a summation.
Can we borrow that, Patricia?
Yeah, can we borrow it? And we mentioned David earlier, David Burrows. Well, he's actually
Yes, we did.
he heard us because he's actually reacted to the show. So he's been out there somewhere. So David, if you're still listening, we'd like to see the snow on Monday, please. So that's
Well,
Monday
your
at 12
ears
p.m.
burning, David.
I'm not sure whether Kelly would sort of said, they're talking about you. I don't know. Okay, now the other thing that we talked about is click the link above. You've still got time. If you're not watching on the Belive in 5 page, we moved there today. Click the link above and we'll be able to see your comments. And Patricia has given permission to actually use that as a quotation because that works, simply works. Right, okay, now I talked about trolls. We've talked about Belive Thanksgiving on Monday at 3 p.m. Now something I just want to go sidetrack for a moment. A month ago, Linda West said to me that she had this idea for a show, and it would be a show starting in January, but she needed 2 co-hosts for the show. How about we actually run interviews? And we started 2 weeks ago, and the show goes out at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. And in each show, 4 potential co-hosts go live with Linda and just talk about what they do and why they're interested in being co-hosts. And it's just taking off. Not only is the viewers taking off, but we in the second show we've had 3 times more votes than in the first show. So the idea,
Wonderful.
Talker Tuesday, basic idea is that over 6 shows, 24 people are saying we want to be a co-host with Linda, and it's the first round at the moment. Then we'll have the semi-final. I'm going to get this, semi-finals. I mean, I'd like to say semi-finals, but we've got to be semi-finals, and then the grand finale, the grand final before Christmas, and then the show actually starts in January. And the 2 co-hosts selected by the audience will actually be in the seats as Linda works her way through a list of people she's got to know through networking, and they will be able to introduce their own guests as well. So new chat show, 6th of January, and it's going to be fun, and the auditions have been fun as well. So if you can watch the auditions, Tuesday at 3 p.m. is the time to actually watch them. And it's blast actually, because I'm only producing the show, I'm not actually on the show for a change, so I'm sat there in the background. But it is taking off. And it's just these ideas like the Writer's Corner and Talker Tuesday. The idea just comes along and you think, I'm going to run with this. And it takes you by surprise, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely, I mean, it was the Writer's Corner live show was something Mary and I had been sitting on for almost a year. You know, we kept saying we wanted to do something together. And we just didn't figure out what it was. And then one day I said to her, but you're an author. Why not? How about let's do a show where we feature authors and get their backstory. And it's a really, really fun show. It's not intense at all. You know, we ask them all kinds of interesting questions. And every single author so far has walked away and said they had so much fun on the show because we make it fun. And I mean, we had no idea whether or not it would take off. It was simply an idea. We didn't put too much planning into it, to be honest. We just knew we wanted to live stream together and we weren't sure about what. And when I said to her, well, you know, author, let's run with that. And we said, well, when shall we start? And I said to her, well, why don't we start next week? And before we knew it, we had this long list, and now we have people contacting us and saying, we'd like to go onto your list, right. Which is fantastic because now we're getting referrals from authors who's already been interviewed. And we're having fun with it. Really, it's great.
I mean, that's the whole point of broadcasting, is to have fun, to meet new people, to discover their stories, intertwined with your own, and help each other. And that's what live video is fantastic at. And that's why you see us both on live video every single week, playing our craft. And you can even find us live, possibly over the weekend when we are relaxing. Such is the power of live video.
I know. I have so often seen Jason Franco, for example. You know, he will go live late at night and he'll say, well, I was bored, so I decided to go live, you know, or I needed to chill for a few minutes, so I decided to go live. And that's so very different to someone who's just starting out and feeling all the nerves and sweating about, you know, and having all this angst, you know, as we said in the beginning. So you go from feeling all this huge sense of angst about going live to thinking, well, I've got some time, you know, on my hands. I've got nothing better to do, so I'm going to go live.
Right. And question from Gospel: when is your author show, Bridgetti? What time does it air?
The author show is on a Tuesday, and let me just pull up the right times for you. Because the reason I don't remember them off the bat is because of the time changes now. So
tell me about it. I know. You won't believe it. Sorry.
Go for it.
No, it's okay. Carry on.
Okay. So the show takes place on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 1600 UK, and 1800 hours my time in South Africa. So that's the show time. So I think everyone kind of goes on Eastern time. So it's 11 Eastern on a Tuesday.
There you go. And the votes are in. The question was, is 11 a.m. Eastern? How is that? How did that work out? Is 11 a.m. Eastern a good time for a show? And the answer is a resounding yes. So there you have it. You're going out at the perfect time, Bridgetti. How does that work?
I don't know.
Oh, good. Wow. And that's 1600 in the UK. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yes, on Tuesday. All good. Right. Okay. Just a quick reminder. In 20 minutes' time, over on Twitch/Steven Healey. You will. I'll put my name up in case I hide that and show that. Take the space out. Twitch/Steven Healey. You'll find me there, and I'm talking to Joe Ruffin about who, what, where, why, and the shows that she actually does on Belive.tv and the live video hub. Bridgetti?
So I'm going to ask you a question about Twitch quickly, since you are more of a fundi in Twitch than I am. I'm still feeling my way around Twitch. Okay. So you do have the name of your show that you, when you plan your show, the same as on Facebook Live, you put the name of your show. But there's a description in Twitch that describes the nature of your show. Is that something that you keep static, or do you change that every time you want to do a show?
All right. Before a show, the text I have in there suits everything, and if I remember before the show, I will change it to be what I'm doing in the show. So I change the title, I change the description, but I'm always going out to the podcast section. Yeah, and in real life.
Because you know what I did? Here's my blooper.
Okay.
When I first set it up on Twitch, I forgot about that, and I would just do the topic in Belive, setting up the show. But on Twitch, I had put in when I did the very first one, is that gospel? Bye, gospel. Thanks for joining us. So I put in, my first Twitch show, and I think it was like the third one. I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not my first one. I need to change this text.
Yeah, it's a different routine, isn't it? I mean, pretty soon, I'm sure in the next release of Belive to Twitch, they will actually allow you to put the title and description in, because that's a lot easier, because then you don't need to go and alter the static page. So I'm hoping they do that, but for the moment, it's got to be altered, and it's just remembering to do it. I'm pretty sure that today's show will not say Stephen chats with Joy. It will say something completely different. But if people come over to the channel, all will be well. Okay, so that's Twitch on Belive. And tradition is that I start the show, and Bridgetti, it's over to you.
I want to say a huge big thank you. We went live today at a completely unexpected time, and yet it's been incredibly heartwarming that we had so many of you come and join us and take part in the comments, even though we threw you all for a loop with the time zone without much warning at that. So thank you very much for everyone for joining us. So the people, I just want to give a shout out to the people that joined us. It's Gospel, Patricia, Tish, thank you very much, Kelly. What happened to Alfredo? Alfredo was going to join us as a guest. Alfredo, what happened to you? Please explain. Thank you to David, that even if you just popped in for a brief second, thank you to you as well. And we will see you back. I think we've kind of established that this will become our new time from next week. So we'll see you back next week again at 11 a.m. Eastern, our new show time. Right. We'll keep that moving forward. I want to wish you all a great weekend. We went completely from one topic to the other, but before we knew it, the hour was gone. So thank you for hanging out with us. And have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Don't stream and drive. Be careful. And we'll see you next week. So from me, Bridgetti in Cape Town, it's goodbye for now.
And from me, Stephen in Devices in Wiltshire, bye for now. See you again soon.